So we're going to find out the answers, hopefully, to some of these questions by connecting with Coding Bee Academy founder Haripin Eko Prima. Good afternoon, Mas Eko.
There you are, Mas
Hi,
Eko.
good
There
afternoon,
you go.
everyone.
Hi. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
The big question on all of our minds, and perhaps less for Akhir,
Not
is
less, just a bit more.
not all adults can understand coding. I find it hard to wrap my head around it. So, let alone children. Now, is it too early to start children in coding by the age of 5? I mean, that seems kind of young, doesn't it?
Yeah, we do understand that a lot of parents and the general public have that kind of mindset that it's too early to learn coding at the age of 5. But one thing we all need to understand that fundamentally, when you say learning coding, is actually learning language. Okay, what do I mean by that? So when you write a program, you're actually telling a computer what to do, right? And for you to tell a computer what to do, you need to give instructions in a language that the computer knows how to understand. And that is why they call it programming language, right? So as with all language, it's always better to start when you're a bit younger, so that children's mindset is a bit more malleable. They can learn new language better. We all know that children learn language so fast, right? Compared to adults.
That's true.
That makes perfect sense.
So that
if you
is
put
why
it
we
that
think
way.
that
Yeah. I mean, it does make perfect
Yes.
sense because we were just speaking about my child learning German now. So it shouldn't be, it should
Exactly.
be just about the same when she's learning computer language, right? How to speak with computers. But why do you think children need to learn coding at the age of 5? I mean, what kind of materials will be introduced to the children at the age of 5?
So it's not why they should learn at 5. In fact, everyone should learn how to program, whatever age they are in, right? I myself learn coding when I'm in secondary school. I've known people that learn coding when they're adult as well, right? So as I've mentioned earlier, it's always easier to learn coding at a younger age because it's like it's akin to learning language. But of course, there are also other benefits as well that is really good for children when they learn programming at younger age. For example, programming helps children to become more creative. It empowers them as well. When I mean empowerment is that it allows children or anyone in fact to convert their imagination into reality. So you can only imagine the kind of feelings a child might get when they create their first game, when they create their first apps, the immense pride that they have in doing that. This gives them the confidence that they can do anything in their life with it, Yeah, so these are also some of the benefits that children can get when they learn programming. Not to mention the skill set that they can have when they can write a program, and also and other skills. There are a lot of soft skills that you can get on top of learning programming.
Well, so Mas Eko, this is Ahir speaking. So actually, how can the early age children, let's say at the age of 5, understand the coding easily, just because of it's visually attractive, or maybe do you have any other tips so the children at the age just easily to learn that language, the computer language?
So learning coding is actually very abstract, right? And most the ability to think abstract is actually developed somewhere when in secondary school level. So it's actually harder and harder when you teach younger students. Okay, so you need to adjust what you teach children suitable to their level of cognitive development. Okay, let me give you an example. We teach the concept of algorithm to kindergarten or primary school students, right?
Wow.
And what is algorithm? Algorithm is something very abstract. It sounds very alien, right? It's actually what it means. It's actually step-by-step instruction or actions that is taken to achieve a certain results. Okay, sounds very abstract, right? So how do we explain this to younger children? So we invite the children to come and ask them a question. So maybe the child is called Tim. Tim, can you explain to me what you do every day before you go to school? What steps do you take to go to school? Then Tim would say, oh, I will first wake up, then I will brush my teeth and shower, and then I will have my breakfast, I will put on my school uniform, and then I will get to the car to go to school. So these are actually the 5 steps Tim take to go to school. And this is the algorithm to go to school. And using example like this, we're able to let children understand abstract concept or difficult concept in computer science and make them appreciate what algorithm is. Another example would be recipe. When you cook, you're actually going through an algorithm to provide a certain dish. The only difference is that this algorithm is run by you, not a computer. So when you write a program, the algorithm is run by the computer to perform a certain task.
Okay, so those are very interesting strategies. You're basically simplifying and applying what they do in their day-to-day lives in order to connect them with what is actually happening or what you're trying to teach. But I have a little issue with my 7-year-old sometimes. I cannot get her to stay focused, especially on things that she may not be 100% invested in or interested in. For example, if we watch a movie she loves, she'll just stay there for the whole 2 hours. But if it's something that I like, she tends to drift off or want to talk about something else. So how do you address this problem? Children can get easily bored at times, especially for things they find a little bit complicated. How do you guys tackle this problem?
Not just children, right? Adult as well, right?
Oh, yeah, here.
So
Guilty.
we tackle happens to all of us. So we tackle this problem is actually very easy. This is one of the main reason that parents are worried about their child when they learn something like coding, right? So what we do, what we encourage parents to do is to identify their child's interests, right? So let's say, for example, there's this child that really likes to play game, okay? So instead of just playing game, we encourage the child, why don't you build your own game, right? So we convert what we call passive consumption of technology into an active consumption, active creation of technology. So instead of consuming, they become creator of technology. That is what we want to do. So the kid no longer play game, they'll think about, how do I make this game? When they play a new game, they'll think about how this program is being built. And then another situation where maybe one of your child likes music, right? So we have students like that as well. So what we do is that we encourage them to make a digital piano, a software that is a musical software. You know, they can make animation with music, or they can make a piano that will change sound if you change the setting. So this is how we help students who sometimes they feel bored, by turning their interests into something productive and something useful for the future, I hope.
I guess this is what I like about a course such as this, because you're allowing them to explore what they want to do.
Yeah.
Not everyone has to do the same project, right? And I guess that would be a way to solve that problem.
I mean, you've already noted so many benefits towards learning as early as possible, and it's also because one of the things I pointed out, I would like to highlight from what you mentioned before, was that you teach it in such an applicable, real-life way that the children also realize that there is a system in place, right? They can create their systems, and it's very interesting. But this is a heavy one, but I'm the mama and I'm the finance minister of the house. What about the cost? I have to cough. What about the cost, though? Can you mention the price range of a course like this for different age groups, perhaps?
So normally it ranges about, it can be about 100,000 to even 300,000 per session for students level, right? So some school, if you enroll your child in a school that they have a program, it can be even cheaper. Depends on the school program as well. But this is actually in line with what the normal price you get from normal courses like a robotic as well, for that price range. So in fact, we feel that this is actually a very good investment for students, right?
It is.
But actually, let me be frank with you. All education are free if you're willing to teach on your own. There are actually a lot of resources out there that you can get to teach your child coding at home. It's just whether you can find the time to teach it yourself as well or not.
I'd rather pay you guys to do it. You do a much better job.
I'm thinking about it.
Even if a lot of resource from YouTube, for example, you can access first, you learn it first, then you can start to teach to your children. But yeah, I agree.
Leave it to the experts.
I leave it to the expert and will learn with the child.
Masako, I have a quick question.
Yes, you should
we've
learn.
talked
It's
about
good.
all of these benefits about learning coding at a young age. But again, we've just gone through 2 years of a pandemic when many parents are concerned about the time that kids are spending in front of their gadgets or in front of their laptops or computers. Have this been a concern lately with parents enrolling their kids into coding, thinking, oh, the last thing I want is maybe to have my kids even longer in front of the computer. And how do you address this issue?
So that is a real problem if you only teach your child coding, right? So
Okay.
at Coding Bee Academy, we teach, we don't really call it coding, we teach computer science. So
Okay.
coding is actually part of computer science. In computer science, we also teach stuff like digital well-being and digital safety as well.
Oh, that's
And I, as a parent, I feel that this is very important.
Yeah.
One of
Yep,
the more
yep.
important skills that we need to impart on our children on top of the practical skill,
Yep.
which is to make a program. So digital well-being is what most parents are concerned about, as you just mentioned. The screen time, we make it, we inculcate to the child the habit of, you have to use technology. Yes, there's no escaping it, but do take a break. Do learn to be aware, make it a habit to take a break, and also. We know that you like talking to your friends online, but it's always good to interact with them physically as well, right? And that is digital well-being. We teach that as well. And another important aspect, which is digital safety, and this is one of the reasons why we need to teach our children computer science at an early stage, is that we all know that there are a lot of information in the internet, right? Some of them are real, some of them are not real, or accurate or less accurate. The children need to know how to tell the difference between that, right? Even us adults are having difficulties.
Right.
And on top of that, we're talking about cybersecurity, like privacy as well.
Yeah.
We teach children, please do not share your personal information online, your address, your phone number, your parents' name. That is not good, right? Always make sure that you protect your personal data as well.
Yeah.
And not to mention issues such as cybersecurity that are also discussed in our lessons as well, on top of the usual aspect of coding. So when we say that we teach coding, it's easier for parents to understand what we teach, but we also commit or invest time to make sure they are well aware of digital well-being and also digital safety.
That is possibly my most favorite part about what you offer
Yep,
at the
I
course.
think
because
so
I do
too.
believe that is so priceless to have them not only know their way
Knowledge,
around
yeah.
a computer, but know well enough to what to stay away from as well. So that is great. I'm glad you offer that.
Yes, maybe our last
Yeah,
question.
we call it
Yeah, you go.
we call it
Go on.
digital citizenship.
Okay.
So
Yep.
we want our children not only to know how to use technology, but to use it in a safe and responsible manner.
Yes.
So I think as a parent, that is very important.
Yeah,
Agreed.
It is very important,
Agreed.
and to understand it from the early age. So our last question, Mas Eko, maybe you can share like the success story from the children that can make any sophisticated games, maybe that you never, let's say you never they can do before. So is there any story about that?
There are a lot of success stories. Indonesian children are very smart. Most of our kids are able to produce softwares within 1 month time, right?
Wow.
But,
1 month.
but if I call a success story, it's actually this little story that I've seen repeat a few times, not just to one particular skill students, right? It's how our child develop perseverance when they learn programming. Okay, so what do I mean? That you won't be successful in your first try. Your program will fail to run due to bugs. So some of the students will actually go back, try to identify the mistakes, and try to fix the problem, and run the program again. And then maybe they'll have another mistake. They'll keep going, right? This actually develop
The
perseverance in the student. Yes, make them understand that actually when you're writing a program, right, mistakes is actually not that bad. It's a learning experience, right? And this create a mentality in your child that make them become tougher and make them become more. Paul, your child is in sports, right? And that
Yes.
is particularly very important, especially right when in sports you don't always win.
Right.
But you need to know how to bounce back when you face adversity, and that is, as a parent and as a teacher, one of the things that not many people talk about, but I consider a success story when a child managed to exhibit that. And when they can do that, trust me, they will be able to explore all programs program that they want to build themselves, because they will try, they will make mistakes, they will try to learn from their mistakes. And when a child exhibit that, all the teachers are very proud and feel that our jobs are almost done already when we
Yeah.
see that in our
I
children.
think,
I couldn't agree with you more, Maseko, because I do believe the best lessons in life are actually learned with life lessons as well. And I think you've made a great
Absolutely.
point there. If you guys want to know more, you guys can check out the website, codingb.id, or if you have Instagram, it's at codingb academy. I've actually walked by your place a few times. I believe it's in Pantai Indah Kapuk Mall. I believe you have a branch there. And so that was the first time I've seen it, and I'm very familiar with it. So, hey, maybe we'll drop by one of these days with my daughter. Thank you so much for your time, Maseko.
thank you, Maseko.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
All
Thank
the
you.
success.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
All right, have a good